So hi, Little Guys Podcast. I'm Shane.
I'm Glory.
And we're here with...
I'm Avery from Little Hag.
And we're asking questions today about our upcoming album. Now, that's what I call Little Hag, so congrats on that, by the way. How do you feel about the response to the announcement so far?
It's been awesome. Yeah, I'm really excited to put these songs out. Some of them are older. A lot of them are new, though, but I'm just excited for them to be out in the world.
This album rocks so hard.
Mm-hmm. Thanks.
You're welcome. Some of the best music I've heard come from Jersey in a while.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, right? So is there any meaning behind the album title or cover art? I know they kind of link together, but I'd like to hear about the thought process behind it.
Yeah. So when we were making the album, we recorded it a lot of different places with a lot of different people. There's 8 producers and 8 different studios between the 13 songs. And they're kind of all over the place, like sonically, genre-wise. So it did feel a little bit like a Little Hag sampler. So I thought, now that's what I call Little Hag would be kind of appropriate, given that. And I grew up on the Now CDs. Mm-hmm. I still will hear a song and be like, that was on Now 5. Like,
yep.
It's a very nostalgic thing for me. So paying homage to that felt like fun and cool. And my good friend Chloe Fallon did the album art and she just killed it. I was like, how much can we rip this off?
Without getting in trouble.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if we can actually get in trouble. My label said that it's protected under like parody law.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They approved it right away and said, that's funny, let's do it. So yeah.
Love that energy.
Guess we'll find out.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about your writing process for the album?
Yeah, so most of the songs I wrote, I took a little trip with my buddy Noah. He makes music under the name Wormy. We went to Durham, North Carolina for the month of January of 2023. I had just gotten out of a relationship. He had some time off tour, so we were just like, let's rent a house and write a song every day. And that's what we did, and it was awesome. It's the most songwriting that I've done in a long time. So of the 30 songs that I wrote for that during that trip, I think maybe like 7 or 8 of them wound up on the record. Like a lot of them wound up being they're the bulk of the record. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that was rounded out with a couple songs I wrote before and after that. Mm-hmm. And yeah.
All right. Can you talk a little bit about like the idea, like different producers for different songs? Because has previous releases been like the same producer, or has this been like a common theme for you?
I have yet to do the regular thing that I would like to do at some point, where you just like go into the studio, you record all the songs, and you have a cohesive record that's made all at once. Mm-hmm. That just seems like really cool to me, and I would like to do that at some point. But I have yet to ever tackle song recording that way. The last record we did it mostly with Eric Case Romero from he records and plays with the Front Bottoms, and he engineers a lot of their music. We did a lot of last record with him, and we did 4 songs in the new record with him. That was the most we did with anybody. We did 3 songs with Mark Water from Headroom Studios. And then everything else was one-offs of some people that I've worked with before, some new collaborators, Andy from Sailor Boyfriend, Josh Perna from Saint Slumber, who am I thinking? Joe Sapp, who is Fake Chains and Sunny Gang, Brooke Pridemore. I know I'm missing somebody, but it's escaping me. Yeah, so it was a real hodgepodge of all different people. Basically, I wrote a bunch of songs, and I knew a lot of them were going to be like our usual full band sound, and we were going to do them with Eric. And for the others, I was like, it would be fun to just kind of pass them off to people whose songwriting or production I enjoy, and see like what they can do with it. And it wound up making a bunch of songs that all sound really different, but the common thread is, I wrote them all so they sound the same enough, but they're all produced like super differently. There's like some very disco-y vibe songs. There's like a hip hop track, a lot of rock and pop as well. But yeah, it's kind of like diverse.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what song off this album took longest to write, and which one is your personal favorite?
I don't know that any of them took long to write, just because I tend to like sit down and write a song in an hour or so, and then like that's it. Like
Mhm.
I don't really make many changes after that. Um, so yeah, I can't. There's none that took longer than like an hour, maybe two tops to write.
Mhm.
Um, and I think my favorite is probably "Oops." It's the second track.
Mhm.
Mhm.
It's very like it's probably the punkiest, heaviest song.
Mhm.
When we recorded it, we slowed it down a smidge because we tend to play it so fast live.
Mhm.
And we were like, you gotta be able to hear everything. Like you can't just blow through it.
Yeah.
But that one's really fun.
Hell yeah.
So while going into the writing process for the first couple songs that you wrote, whether they were like the standalone ones or the big batch that you did you go into it looking to write an album, or was it just something that kind of formed later on?
Um, I mean, it had been a while since we put out our last album in 2021,
Mhm.
so it was kind of like, all right, we gotta get the ball rolling on the next record.
Yeah.
And I had only written maybe like 4 songs that I was like, I want these definitely to be on the new record. So um, it's just about sitting down and actually writing. Like I find you have to make time for it. Like
Mhm.
it's not very often that you just get like smacked over the head with inspiration.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, so I did intend with this like little writing trip that me and Noah did to like set aside the time to write a bunch of songs, and hopefully like I would like enough of them that they would make it to the record.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It did. Hell
You,
yeah.
you mentioned, most of the songs take an hour or two to write, but was there one in particular in the studio that took a while to crack production wise?
Maybe The Suburbs. We had a couple influences for that. I really love the song "The Man" by The Killers.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Um, and that was kind of like the inspiration for the drum and beat portion. It's got live real drums and like electronic ones on
Yeah.
there. Um, and I feel like that took a while to nail down like how we wanted the parts to go, and the guitar solos, and like all of the accoutrement. Like it took a while to get the vibes right on that. We actually like toyed around with a lot of different versions of it after the fact, because um, Glenn from Barn on Records was like, I just want this song to be a little longer. Like, can we add a section? Like, what else can we do? And I added this like spoken word section that we wound up scrapping. That was kind of like, I don't know, like it was like a spoken word
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
And I thought it was kind of cool, but then I listened to it a few times and I was like, I don't know, this is corny. So we scrapped it. So it's most of the songs in the record, aside from one or two, are like a 2 minute long little. They're pretty quick songs because that's kind of how I like things to be.
Yeah.
It's like you get in and out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so The Suburbs, I think.
Hell yeah.
Love it. Great.
So how'd the track list for the album come about? Did you guys write the opener be the opener, close be a closer, shuffle down and see what fits? What was that process like?
I never really do that. I never really like write things or have an order in mind, really.
Mhm.
It's once things are recorded, I like have a little, like iTunes playlist that I'm just like shuffling it around to see like what order I like
Mhm.
things to be in. Um, I wanted the album closer to be "Suck Out the Pain," which is the last single that's going to be coming out in about a month. Um, because I just think it's like the best song, maybe. Like, "Oops" is my favorite song, but I think "Suck Out the Pain" is probably like the best
Okay.
song. So I just wanted to like leave on a high note. And I guess it's not really like good practice to like release the last song on the album as a single. It's kind of like I don't think people really do that, or maybe it's not a good idea because you're like giving away the ending.
Mhm.
But also like a lot of times people don't make it to the last, like people might put on the record, but they might not listen to the whole thing.
Mhm.
So I wanted to like give that song a fair chance to be like the cool closer, but also be something that people would hear.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Makes
For
sense.
sure. Makes sense.
But no, other than that, there was no really like trying to flesh out an order like
Yeah.
beforehand.
Yeah, so it was just like based on vibes, because I know there's so many different sounds and vibes going on the record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a vibe science. for
Gotcha.
sure.
Hell yeah. So would you be able to tell us where your headspace is at while you're creating this record? I know we've said over a span of a couple different writing sessions, longer,
Yeah.
shorter, all that shit. Break it down for us, if possible.
Yeah, so the chunk that I wrote when me and Noah were in Durham were all after I had just gotten out of a relationship.
Yeah.
A lot of the songs are about that and just kind of my general dissatisfaction with where I was at in my life at that point. Like, I'm like born and raised in the suburbs of Jersey and kind of felt like I need to get out of here or like, I'm stuck in like this pattern of I'm bored with my life kind of thing.
Yeah.
I wanted to move to Philly like a few months after that. But yeah, so I was just kind of feeling the strangeness of coming out of a relationship. Um, and also then getting into my first gay relationship with my
Mhm.
girlfriend. I had never like seriously dated a woman before,
Mhm.
before her. So there's a song or two about her for sure. Yeah. So it's gay,
Mhm.
it's breakup, it's dissatisfaction with suburban life and capitalism and like, the things that bog us all down.
So, how do you recommend your fans to listen to this album for the first time? Should you do it in the car with friends, dark with headphones on? Is workout album, party album? What do you personally recommend?
Um, I guess I'm sure everyone would say like with headphones, like to get the real experience. I never really listened to anything with headphones though. I know that's bad.
Neither do I.
What? Oh yeah.
I don't think I
already knew
own a
that.
pair of headphones. It's just these.
Okay. You need to fix that,
Besides
man.
those.
Holy shit.
I think maybe it's a fun one for the car. It's a half hour.
Mhm.
So if you have a half hour drive, you have time for that. Yeah, I'm gonna say in the car.
Hell yeah.
Perfect.
Love it.
So this one should be super, super quick off top of your head. I want you to describe this album for your listeners in 3 words. No more, no less.
Oh my God. Bitchy, fun, weird.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I don't know if that's super
Was that
accurate.
bitchy or witchy?
Bitchy with a B.
Okay, just making sure. I had to clarify. Hell yeah, I still co-sign it. Yeah.
So in that same train of thought, is there a certain feeling or emotion you want listeners to have while going through the album?
I feel like any younger queer person will probably just like relate to the themes, or like anybody who has ever like worked shitty jobs. But is there a feeling that I want them to have? I don't know. I want you to like have fun while you listen, but it's also like it can be serious. So like be serious while you have fun. Is that a feeling?
Hell yeah.
Okay, I get it.
Having fun seriously.
Yeah.
That's
That's great.
So, are you able to touch on any particularly challenging or standout moments during the creation of this album, negative or positive?
Recording is kind of just difficult for me because I get really overwhelmed and like it's long days and eventually I'm just like I'm fucking over this. Like I am shut down. So I just find kind of recording in general to be a little bit challenging. It's easier when you have great people that you work with and like my band is the best people on earth. Like they're just so easy to be around and like make my life so easy. The biggest challenge for me is like all of the post-production stuff of like making content and like getting the timeline together of like when things are going to come out and how that's all going to go. And like I'm trying my best to be more online in a useful way, which is not my natural state. Usually I like to be online in a not useful, unproductive way.
Yeah.
And just like tweet stupid shit. I mean, I haven't been on Twitter now. I got banned like about a year ago.
That's why you haven't been on our timeline.
Yeah.
You used to rule our timeline. Yeah. Yeah.
I tweeted I will kill transphobes, which I guess that was my bad because how would I not get banned for that? But I just haven't had the heart to get back on Twitter. It feels I'm just like that's not my account. Like, yeah, but it was sucking anyway a year ago.
Exactly.
And then you have
yeah.
to start from scratch. Like, it's just
Yeah.
not fun anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was just kind of over it, but
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah.
How are you balancing the music making and the content creation? Because I've seen you on TikTok. You've had a couple of viral moments over there,
Yep.
and a sponsorship, which is, you know, not doing half bad for yourself over there. But how are you balancing the two?
Basically I try to just be natural with it. Like, I think people can kind of tell, or not, people don't vibe with you, like being like, isn't it crazy?
Did you just
if you're
write the
trying too
song
hard,
of
like,
the summer?
yeah, if you're trying too hard, I think people can tell.
Mhm.
I really don't like to make stuff, so my girlfriend is very helpful with like, all right, Ave, take 2 fucking seconds and just make something. Like,
Mhm.
you just said this funny thing, just record yourself saying the thing you just said and post it, and then you're done for the day.
Mhm.
I was really trying to post something every day and I fell off that pretty quickly, but um yeah, I kind of just wait for like a little inspiration moment, or just like hop on a trend and see what's going on, and see if I have any input to give.
Yeah.
Um I would love for something to go viral that has anything to do with my music and
Yeah.
not
Of
just like
course.
random shit that I've said, but any all press is good press.
That's
So
what they say. Yeah.
yeah.
So for this question, I want you to picture you're on tour, you're at a gas station for a rest stop. Well, what is your snack of choice?
Mm, I like the Cajun snack mix that usually comes in like a little cup type of thing, or like the Tex-Mex one. Any of those like mixes I like.
Mhm.
I like Munchies cheese fix mix.
Mhm.
Um, and I like an Entenmann's crumb cake.
Oh, hell yeah. I
Nice.
fuck with those.
Oh yeah.
I fuck with those. And on the topic of food, if your music project was a dish, what dish would it be and why?
I think it might be like leftover Chinese food,
Mhm.
because it's there for you when you need it and it just hits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn right.
Oh yeah. And for the last couple questions, we're gonna shift completely away from music. So, if you could be one animal for the rest of your life, what animal would you be and why?
I really should have an answer for this, because my favorite movie is The Lobster, and that's the whole plot of The Lobster, is like you
Yeah.
got to pick an animal to be. I kind of want to be something that doesn't like, maybe some kind of sea creature,
Mhm.
like an octopus. An octopus.
Nice.
Oh,
That's good.
hell yeah. I love it. I love it. And if you could have lunch with any celebrity or artist, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
This is like random for me, but who's coming to mind is Lady Gaga. That would just be
Oh,
so
yeah.
cool.
Mhm.
To hang out with her
Would
and
be.
maybe pick her brain a little.
Yeah, I agree. And for this last question, boom, you're on a desert island. You can bring one movie, one album, and one person. Who and what are you bringing?
I'm bringing Clueless, my girlfriend Emily, and OK Computer, I think.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good.
Sounds good.
All right. So as I said, that's all the questions I have today. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
Yeah, we're playing a couple shows coming up. July 19th at Salty's in Belmar. July 20th at Lucky Sevens. They do a barbecue and they like block off the street in Jersey City. And July 27th at Brooklyn Made. Those are my next things coming up. And then in August, we have a couple listening parties for the album. We're doing one on August 16th at Over the Moon in Asbury Park. And the day before the album comes out, on August 22nd, we're doing a virtual listening party on Bandcamp, which I'm really excited for, because we can just kind of all, I don't know, I have friends all over the place, so we're all just going to get together and get in the comments and have a chat.
That's sick. Hell yeah. All right. Well, thank you for listening. It's been Avery from Little Hag, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.